Chapter 6, Chemical Composition. Sodium is something that you hear a lot about. You know, maybe your dad has high blood pressure and he's on a low sodium or restricted sodium diet. But sodium is an important dietary mineral. If you don't get enough sodium, you'll die. Okay? But you don't want to have too much. It can cause high blood pressure and strokes and heart attacks and all kinds of bad stuff. But it's regulated, it helps to regulate the amount of body fluids, how much water your body holds on to. So it's really important. So the FDA recommends that you consume less than 2.4 grams of sodium per day. Not sodium chloride, of actual sodium in the sodium chloride. So how many grams of sodium chloride could you eat? How many grams of table salt could you eat and stay under that limit for sodium? These are the sorts of questions we can answer by looking at the formula masses of the element of these compounds and looking at their formulas, their chemical formulas. Well, if we look at the chemical formula for sodium chloride, it's NaCl. And this gives us information about the chemical composition. There's one sodium ion for every chloride ion. So it's a 1-to-1 ratio of atoms, but the masses of sodium and chlorine are different. They're not the same. And so you can't take the mass of sodium chloride and say, well, half of it's sodium and half of it's chloride. That's not true. We have to look at each of them separately, and so we're going to learn how to do that. We can calculate the amount of element that's in a formula from the chemical formula and looking at the atomic masses. And this is helpful in answering lots of questions like how much iron is in a given amount of iron ore. You know, they're mining iron ore. Iron ore is going to be some compound containing iron, but you're going to have to pull in an awful lot of this ore, rocks basically, to get iron out of it. And if you're running this mine, you probably want to know how much iron am I going to get out? Is this going to be cost effective before you start doing things like that? How much chlorine is in a given amount of a chlorofluorocarbon? So Freon 12 has chlorine and fluorines in it, and how much chlorine is in there? These are the sorts of things we can answer.